everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. It's not a preview because this model has come and gone. Put on the RLC, that's the Red Line Club, about a week and a half ago. Sold out in a matter of minutes, and now it is being shipped. Many of you have already gotten yours. Some of you are waiting. I'm waiting for the one that I purchased. This one came to me from our friends at Mattel for me to showcase for you, whether you've ordered one or not. So thank you to them. I'm always happy to show RLC models. And when you show a model like this one, you have got to bring out the big guns. And the big guns are here. This is the 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser, Red Line Club Flying Aces World War II Special Edition. We're going to have a look, and then we're going to put it up against that model of which all gassers will be judged. You know it by its two words, the Candy Striper, right over here. I've heard a lot of rumblings about this one being on par with the Candy Striper, so why don't we do a little bit of compare and contrast and see what model you think comes out on top. I brought some other big guns as well. You can do the 55 Gasser. I mean, I could show you a million of them. The 55 Gasser is a collector favorite, always a big event whenever it is released, wherever it is released. That could be 5 packs, that could be basic. We saw the Holly version just recently released. RLC, of course, Target, Zamax, Walmart, Car Culture. What have we had? 10 packs. You name it, mail-ins, it has been everywhere. Super treasure hunts, it's been everywhere, and collectors are always eager to gobble it up whenever it's released. So that was obviously the case for this one. So instead of showing all of the 55 Gassers, I've done that before, I brought out, like I said, the big guns. 4 of the major premium models, 2 convention models, the 2 50th anniversaries from last year, Dallas Convention, LA Convention. They are perfect. Well, they're not matches, but they're perfect opposites to celebrate the golden anniversary of Hot Wheels 50 years. Absolute stunning models in that Spectre Flame Gold, and then it's reversed on the roof of the LA model, which I think these two are, boy, I don't know if you can beat them, but we'll try. Then I've got over here the 2 RLC, the big ones from the RLC. Now, there's actually 2 others from this. The Chrome and Black is a membership model. At the time they did that, they actually released 3 membership models. Blue, red, and then this was the most limited, the Chrome edition in black with this chrome roof and chrome detailing on the rear. And it is also just a spectacular model sitting on the Neo wheels. It is another one that collectors really, really want to gobble up. And then what do you say about the Candy Striper? RLC model released several years ago and was a big deal from the minute it was, when it was released. But it's continued to increase in value. It's beautifully detailed. It's a gorgeous model in its hot Spectre Flame pink. And everyone knows what the Candy Striper is. That deco's been customized on all kinds of different models. We've seen the Gasser itself customized. But to have the actual one is a privilege. This is my only one. It's been through a lot. It is loose. Opened up. I have the card back somewhere, but that is there. So they are here to celebrate this new one, and what a model it is. Here's a look at the packaging just real quick. This is how it comes. This one is not carded, as you can obviously tell. It's coming in acrylic case. I went ahead for photograph purposes and already cut this one open, but let's go ahead and have a look. So box, I can go over here, and we're still not done. You can see that this box is very, very cool. This is a military theme, so this one comes in a World War II ammunition-like package. You can see all the little cool rust details. And here on the back is all the details. Hot Wheels proudly salutes the Flying Aces of World War II with a spectacular design featuring one of our all-time favorite gassers. Ready to light up the drag strip or the airstrip, this Hotshot 55 Bel Air comes ready for combat with fangs out, fighter plane deco, and packed in its very own ammo case. Now, what do we call this gasser? We already know we have the Candy Striper. We all know what that is. This one's going to have a name. I've heard some people refer to it as the World War II Gasser. I kind of like calling it the Flying Aces Gasser. You guys tell me which one you think sticks. I'm going to put Flying Aces in the title. But let's have a look at the model if you haven't already seen it. And what do you think of that? An absolute stunner if I've ever seen one. Spectra Flame olive, obviously in a military styling. Let's go ahead and just look at the packaging real quick. It does come in an acrylic case. It has kind of a black top base, which is cool, but we're going to go ahead and take that off. I'm going to do it behind the camera because I'm always just a little bit nervous popping that plastic off. And here it is here. Now you can see that you've got the black top base, but we want to focus on the model. Here's the base of it in case you want to know. I didn't even show that part. 12,000 made. This one is number 10,704. At least I'm not going to destroy the packaging, right? Because I just have to take it off the base. Should we do that? Let's do it. Even though you're just unscrewing these models, it's still a nerve-wracking experience doing it because you don't want it to fall, and you know my propensity to drop them, but I'm not going to do that. This thing is a stunner. Now that you have it out of the package past the acrylic, you can see what a gorgeous model it is. Obviously, World War II Flying Aces theme. I love the placement of the moon eyes. Some of you I've heard the comments you don't like it. I do. It's a little bit it's a little fun there. Some of you have commented on the front wheel. I like it when you consider the era that this car is celebrating. That lace style spoke on the front, I think, works perfectly and really adds a classic car element to this beautiful 55 Bel Air. After that, you can see there's detailing in the engine bay, a matte black. You can see detailing in the front. This is the newer casting. We'll get into that in just a little bit. There's a more premium version of the Bel Air Gasser, and then there's the basic version, which we can compare. But that is something. I might keep this in the acrylic case because I have a display of the acrylic case models, but I like it out the best, and I think it looks fantastic with these 4 other models, which are truly, truly cool. But as great as the 2 50th anniversaries are, and they are great together, and as great as the membership model is with its blue and red counterparts, when a model is this good, and it's a Bel Air Gasser, there's only one model that we can compare it to, and we've got to put these head to head. The Candy Striper and the Flying Aces, let's put these two together. Now, what do you got? Well, you actually have 2 different castings. If I show you the base of the Bel Air, you can see the rivet is in the front, and that's because it's the old basic. So you can see it on this. The rivet is in the front. That's how it was originally designed by Brendan Vituski. Then as this model became more and more popular, and as people wanted, I think the Hot Wheels said, well, let's just give them a more premium version. So they did, and now the rivet is in the back on the premium. I think that's the case, yeah, in all of these. I think the RLC was the only one that was released as the old version. There's a few other details. There's better detailing in the engine. It sits a little bit differently. It's just a better casting, but you know, what are you going to complain about with the Candy Striper as well? So, casting-wise, a little bit updated for the Flying Aces. Okay, how about looks-wise? Well, in terms of the quality of the Spectra Flame, I got to give it to the Flying Aces as well. The hot pink is beautiful, but it's a little bit more of the older style. They have just perfected the art of the Spectra Flame, and it's just obvious on the Flying Aces olive Spectra Flame, military Spectra Flame, and when you have the detailing against it, it just pops. It just shines. Now, so does the Candy Striper, but I'd say the detailing and the deco, quality-wise, Flying Aces wins. In terms of just sheer surprise, maybe the Candy Striper takes that. Interior goes to the Candy Striper because it has the 2-tone seats, but in terms of just legend, how can you beat the Candy Striper? It took on a life of its own. It's not very many castings that do this. The Gasser has already been established as a legendary casting before the Flying Aces was released, so you have to say in terms of legendary status, the Candy Striper takes it, and I don't think you'll ever see the Flying Aces achieve the secondary market cost or price that the Candy Striper, just because of sheer numbers. But that's my comparison and my contrast. You guys can tell me what you think. So what is your favorite? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm just glad I have both. I would say I would put the Flying Aces above just in terms of just aesthetics. But how can you beat the Candy Striper for just what it is? The only other thing we could do is compare them on the track, and I'm not going to do... Well, maybe? You guys can see that I actually introduced the video with putting all of those on the track, and I used, well, I used a few stunt doubles to actually race them down the track, because I can't do that. You can't do it with these kind of models. You can't put all those down there. But there really is only one way to determine which one is the winner. We'll just use it as a factor. You've got aesthetics, you have looks, you have quality, you have casting. Which one's faster? I guess we'll find out. So why don't we do that? Let's see who wins on the track too. You can factor that in as well. Thanks everybody. This was a fun video to do. Bye.